12.21 will feature the release of the brand new champion K'Sante, along with some nerfs to OP picks like Bel'Veth and Blitzcrank. How's it going, everyone? My name's Sean, and I'll be your host while Dan takes the week off. Accurately rating new champions is extremely difficult before we see them on the live servers, so we'll be holding off on a tier list placement for K'Sante until our mid-patch tier list update. With the help of our challenger players and analyzing the most recent data, we strive to bring you guys a complete update on the solo queue meta each and every patch. So, let's jump into 12.21. But before we get into it, be sure to check out SkillCapped if you truly want to get better at League of Legends. We're the only service that offers a money-back guarantee if you don't climb at least 5 divisions while actively using our service. We do this because our service really does work, and if it doesn't work for you, you shouldn't pay. Learn more at the end of this video or click the link in the description below. Not a single item or rune alteration, and nothing for top lane either this patch. So let's jump right into the top lane tier list. We have Nasus, Mordekaiser, Shin, and Darius as the most OP carries for solo queue. New build update for Darius this patch, as the recent Sterix buffs has made the item a great second purchase again. If you're super far ahead early game and are looking to close things out by team fighting, then Sterix is a great option in place of Death's Dance now. Stat-wise in 12.19, Death's Dance and Sterix had identical win rates as second pickups, but now, after the Sterix buffs, it's winning about 3% more on Darius. A very interesting top lane pick that the solo queue god Magi Felix has been spamming as of recent is Karma. He's got an absolutely insane win rate, with his Karma top winning 23 of his past 30 games. The build's extremely unique, with a Locket Rush into either Zhonya's, Frozen Heart, or Michael's. Frozen Heart against AD auto-reliant champs, Michael's into more AP heavy CC comps, and Zhonya's against heavy dive. The rune page consists of Summon Area as the keystone, along with Inspiration Tree for secondaries. Strength of Karma top lies in its extremely strong lane bully power and ability to buff up these fighter junglers we see so much in meta. The best low elo top laners of the patch are Garen, Mordekaiser, and Nasus. Darius, Fiora, and Nasus are 3 of the most optimal top lane bans. Bel'Veth has been dominating the solo queue meta for a while now, so Riot has a few nerfs lined up for 12.21. E cooldown's taking a hit, going from 22 scaling to 16 seconds to 24 scaling to 18 seconds. R Voidling health is being reduced from 50 scaling to 70% minion health to 40 scaling 60% minion health. E change is the big one, as it'll hinder Bel'Veth's skirmish power, especially in the mid game. Having E available allows Bel'Veth to play so much more aggressive, so 2 seconds off will deny certain openings you would have had before. Is this change enough to remove Bel'Veth from the meta though? Our analysts don't believe so, as we'll only be shifting Bel'Veth from OP into S for 12.21. Xin Zhao has been on the weaker side for a while now, so a few buffs are headed his way. Passive damage AD ratios going from 15 scaling to 45% to 15 scaling to 60%. Passive heal AP ratios being increased from 55 to 65%. E cooldown is going down from 12 to 11 seconds. All in all, pretty minor buffs for the most part. As a jungler who's most effective throughout the early to mid game, scaling buffs are not exactly what Xin wants. E cooldown lowered by a second is going to be nice, but we just can't see Xin moving into a top tier position. We do, however, see him being better than an average B tier pick now, so we'll be shifting him into the A tier for 12.21. For the jungle tier list, we have Fiddle and Udyr as the most OP picks of the patch. Lots of AP junglers on the rise in recent patches, as Evelynn, Elise, and Echo are now all really strong S tier options. New jungle build for 12.21 to try is a lethality setup on Hecarim. The build gained a ton of popularity in 12.20 and actually wins more than any other setup right now. Core is an Umbral Glaive Rush into Duskblade 2nd and Manamune 3rd. After his 12.18 nerfs, Hecarim fell to around a 48% win rate, but this build alone has brought him back to around 50%. Umbral Rush is currently winning a whole 5% more than Divine Sunderer, so definitely give this build a shot if you haven't already. The optimal low elo junglers for 12.21 include Rammus, Udyr, and Shyvana. Udyr, Hecarim, and Bel'Veth are all great ban choices due to their high play rates and overall power levels. Ahri has been slightly underperforming stat-wise in recent patches, so she'll be the first mid laner buffed in 12.21. Q mana cost is being lowered by 5 at all ranks. QAP ratio per hit is going from 40 to 45%. Decent buffs, but nothing out of this world, so Ahri's going to remain in our A tier. As if Malzahar wasn't already a godlike mid laner for the lower ranks, he's going to become even nastier in 12.21. If you've ever played Malz before, you know how annoying it is when your E just doesn't secure the last hit on minions. Well, that all changes this patch, as Malzahar's E will now execute minions below 15, scaling to 45 health. You can even see in the background gameplay how impactful this change can be, as Mal's E secures 2 minions in the 12.21 clip, but 0 minions in the 12.20 clip. If you're a Mal's main or a higher elo player, then this buff won't be super impactful, but for low elo or newer players, the amount of extra minions they'll be able to secure is going to be massive. Despite the buff, Malz is going to remain in our A tier, as this change won't cover up the fact he can be exploited as a blind pick mid. Corki will be the third mid laner buffed this patch, as Riot aims to bolster his scaling power. AD per level and health per level are going up. All this change does is make Corki's strongest stage of the game even stronger, but doesn't significantly address his weaker early game. For that reason, we don't see Corki making his way back into meta, and he will remain below average C tier mid. In a controlled environment like Pro Play, where you can play around Corki's weaker early game, he may be picked back up, but for solo queue specifically, he won't be gaining much power. For the mid lane tier list, it's Zed, Victor, and Vex as the 3 OP picks. 12.21 being a super light patch means there's no significant shifts to the mid lane tier list. Our top 3 low elo mids are Swain, Malzahar, and Heimerdinger. Syndra, Zed, and Vex are highest priority bans of the patch. Misfortune is the lone ADC with changes, as her E and ultimate are being altered. E slow is going down from 50 to 40%, but the rest of the changes are all buffs. E damage AP ratio is going from 100 to 120%, while the slow AP ratio is up from 4 to 6%. Our AP ratio is up as well from 20 to 25%. The only change that really matters here, though, if you're building crit MF, is the nerf to her E slow. That change alone, though, is not going to be enough to push MF out of meta, though, so she'll remain in our OP tier. Since MF won't be falling out of meta, you can expect the top dogs to remain the same in this patch, with Misfortune, Twitch, Kai'Sa, and Tristana as the OP ADCs. Reckless has been playing a very interesting new strategy on his Tristana, running Ignite as his secondary summoner spell. This is when paired with an enchanter support only, though, as you let them take the heal. If your support decides to take Exhaust, you can also run Ignite, but just make sure you're not going double Ignite. Trist is a champ who has the ability to make plays on her own and dive in for solo kills, so the Ignite works better on her than most ADCs. Twitch is another ADC who can work very well with Ignite, as it provides him with added kill pressure when he's looking for picks popping out of stealth. Best low ADCs out of the patch are Tristana, Misfortune, and Ziggs. MF, Kai'Sa, and Samira are a few of the most optimal bans. The recent 12.20 Blitz nerfs lowered his power level a very minimal amount, so Riot has a few more nerfs planned for 12.21. Base health is being lowered from 653 to 633. W bonus attack speed is going from 40 scaling to 92% to 30 scaling to 82%. It looks like Riot intends to slowly chip away at Blitz instead of giving him a killing blow, as these nerfs will at the very most move him into an S tier position. We'll be leaving the Crank in OP tier for now, but we'll keep a close eye on him throughout the patch, as this is the one change we're more indifferent about as to how heavily the nerfs will impact him. So, for the support OP tier, we have Amumu, Janna, Blitzcrank, and Maokai as the premier picks. With all the recent ADC changes, the Nami Lucian lane is back in a really good spot. If you're looking to duo up down the bot lane for your end-of-season climb, then spamming Lucian Nami is a great idea. A super undervalued support right now with Thresh and Blitz coming back into meta is Rell. Rell does an insanely good job at nullifying those melee supports due to her exceptionally strong peel power. Once Rell hits level 6, it becomes extremely difficult for dive champions to succeed against her. If you want an even more aggressive bot lane duo to spam than Lucian and Nami, the Samira Rell lane is absolutely nuts. Top 3 low elo supports of the patch are Amumu, Maokai, and Zyra. Our recommended bans for support include Janna, Amumu, and Blitzcrank. Alright guys, before we wrap this up, let's tell you a little bit more about SkillCapped. So we offer a 5-division rank up guarantee, and we think that's a pretty crazy thing to offer. It's kind of like a gym membership guaranteeing you'll get ripped. Your local gym would just go bust if they offered that, right? Well, not us. We've offered this for years because our service really does work. It works so well, in fact, that we're able to produce by far the largest catalog of premium league guides on the internet. We add over 20 videos a week, with over 2,000 guides, curated into 270 courses. No one can compare. We've also sent Challenger players into Elo Hell 1,100 times and counting, where they commentate how to carry live. They also respond to all questions asked. Sign up today for as little as $6.99 a month if you're serious about improving. 12.21 is probably the smallest patch we've seen all season. So there's your quick update on the solo queue meta. Thank you guys so much for watching. Good luck with your end of season climbs, and we'll see you back soon.